Check if something is not in a list in Python. I have a list of tuples in Python, and I have a conditional where I want to take the branch only if the tuple is not in the list. If it is in the list, then I don't want to take the if branch. This is not really working for me though. What have I done wrong?
The bug is probably somewhere else in your code, because it should work fine. Or with tuples. How do I check if something is not in a list in Python? The cheapest and most readable solution is using the in operator, or in your specific case, not in. As mentioned in the documentation, the operators in and not in test for membership. X in S evaluates to true if X is a member of S, and false otherwise. X not in S returns the negation of X in S. Additionally, the operator not in is defined to have the inverse true value of in. Y not in X is logically the same as not Y in X. Here are a few examples. This also works with tuples, since tuples are hashable, as a consequence of the fact that they are also immutable. If the object on the RHS defines underscore contains underscore, method, in will internally call it, as noted in the last paragraph of the comparisons section of the docs. In and not in are supported by types that are iterable or implement the underscore contains underscore method. For example, you could, but shouldn't, do this. In short circuits, so if your element is at the start of the list, in evaluates faster. If you want to do more than just check whether an item is in a list, there are options. List.index can be used to retrieve the index of an item. If that element does not exist, a value error is raised. List.count can be used if you want to count the occurrences. The Xi problem. Have you considered sets? Ask yourself these questions. Do you need to check whether an item is in a list more than once? Is this check done inside a loop, or a function called repeatedly? Are the items you're storing on your list hashable? Ow, can you call hash on them? If you answered yes to these questions, you should be using a set instead. An in-membership test on lists is O(n) time complexity. This means that Python has to do a linear scan of your list, visiting each element and comparing it against the search item. If you're doing this repeatedly, or if the lists are large, this operation will incur an overhead. Set objects, on the other hand, hash their values for constant time membership check. The check is also done using in. If you're unfortunate enough that the element you're searching/not searching for is at the end of your list, Python will have scanned the list up to the end. This is evident from the timings below. As a reminder, this is a suitable option as long as the elements you're storing and looking up are hashable. Now, they would either have to be immutable types, or objects that implement underscore hash underscore.
I know this is a very old question, but in the ops actual question of what have I done wrong? The problem seems to be in how to code. Take the branch only if the tuple is not in the list. This is logically equivalent to, as op observes. It's, however, entirely silent on what should happen if tuple not in list. In particular, it doesn't follow that so ops rule never mentions what to do if tuple not in list. Apart from that, as the other answers have noted, not in is the correct syntax to check if an object is in a list, or any container really.
One can also use the count method of list class. Let's say we have a list. To confirm if we have an element i.e. 10 in the list or not and the frequency of its occurrence.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.